Hello to all and welcome back into another Star vs analysis. Today I'll be covering both Pam UI Petit and Tough Love. Within my previous video, I did predict that this episode to not be as significant as we're used to due to its subpar animation. And well, look what happened. In Pam UI Petit, Ponyhead's ability to fly was not taken from her, but instead I guess her pride and dignity was. It just simply gave her the excuse to mope around and of course treat everyone around her horribly in this episode. The pizza guy that got freed from Season 2's Crystal Clear, Star, her sisters, and especially her tryhard retail boyfriend from earlier in this season. Yeah, apparently they started dating for some reason. From her show's finale, she learns to not hide away from the rest of the world because of her tragedy, which in her case obviously was her horn. But in the end, who really truly gives a crap? She manages to use Seahorse to create a 3D printed replica of her old horn. Oh yeah, and by the way, they break up after that. I wonder if Seahorse will ever break away from being so attached to his retail job and actually express some emotions. I read certain people saying that Ponyhead isn't all that bad of a character in general, but her drama in this episode was plain unforgivable.
Hey, do you think I can get one of those horns too?
Why do you always have to be at the center of attention, Hornine? Just like, why? Why? Why do you need to do that? Why are you always thinking about you? Why?
Hey! Shut up!
Now let's move on to the more significant episode that I really want to get to, Tough Love. Within this episode, it takes place with Moon and Eclipsa adventuring their way through Muni for the search of Meteora. Luckily, the scavenger hunt doesn't exactly last too long, for Meteora on the other hand causes havoc in multiple areas throughout the kingdom. First affecting Rich Pigeon, the Bog Forest dwellers, and possibly some others we haven't yet seen. And you can even tell yourself that Eclipsa basically in this entire episode was actually afraid of her very own daughter too. Another thing that was interesting to see from Eclipsa was just how silly she can be, just like Star. It's really too bad that they're not related because of just how compatible they really are, but at least they can be best friends in the end, so yay. Meteora progressively becomes bigger and bigger over time, and it's mainly because of her youth and hypnotizing results diminishing after realizing her true identity. Her special power to absorb everyone's life source, however, is not the cause. This explains why Ludo never grew, and why Meteora was growing even beforehand. I feel as if Meteora's magic is a result for being born with an overwhelming amount of energy. It's quite possible that being a child of both a monster and Mewman resulted in being a mixed fusion of both powerful magic, Eclipsa, and a large capacity of uncontrollable strength, her husband. I'm prone to believe that it left Meteora with an extremely difficult amount of magic to tame all to herself. I mean, I guess that explains why her cheek marks were glowing at random. Also, I doubt it, but do you all kinda believe that the Joy Sucker from Season 2 is responsible for certain villains' ability to take the life forms of others? I understand that it's a stretch and Joy is different from someone's entire life force, but maybe that episode was purposely bad to throw people off. I mean, come on, who would guess that? I don't know, but it's something worth mentioning. As for the relationship between Eclipsa and Meteora, it sadly wasn't much for this episode. I guess since they've been separated for some time, Meteora's respect for even her very own mother isn't too much. It's weird to say that Eclipsa seemed awfully vulnerable against her very own. And despite Eclipsa's motherly attempts in subduing her own daughter peacefully, Moon tries to do it in a completely different way. I believe we all know the answer to that question. Yes. Violence.
Don't condone violence!
In this moment, Moon is finally shown dipping down just as much as Star was when she first obliterated Toffee. But it wasn't just Moon who dipped down during this moment. Moon seemed as if she was about to officially end Meteora. At least that was until Eclipsa dips down herself in her attempt to protect Meteora from the blast. Now, a crucial point right before the end of the episode, Moon awakes from the blast after being attacked by Meteora, and she manages to create a giant portal without dimensional scissors, just like Star's ultimate dipping down from alongside with having the star-shaped eyes. And as for Moon's other eye being blacked out, that was a result for having a good chunk of her magic being taken away from her. So that begs the question, where did Moon go? Well, I mean, it's It's kinda obvious. She must have found her way to the realm of magic like Star did in the episode Deep Dive. And hopefully not like Toffee, Meteora won't contaminate the realm of magic and go on to an even worse power-dwelling creature rampage. Because she was moving awfully fast when Moon escaped, and her whereabouts are still unknown as of today. But it's also good to mention that this leads up to our very next episode, Divide. The synopsis states Star becomes acting queen and plans for Marco and his warriors to delay Meteora from reaching Castle Butterfly long enough for Star to find Moon and destroy the monster princess. And by the way it sounds, it could be that Star decides to take over Muni once realizing the absence of her mother. But another theory is that, sadly, Moon could possibly die. I'm not just saying this. If you've watched my videos in the past, I brought this up for some time. Within the teaser promo for the return of Star Versus after Toffee's defeat, there is an imagery of Moon's symbol being shattered and Star's heart being broken. And it could be symbolizing Moon's potential death or defeat for the moment, like how Star nearly died when going against Toffee. Plus, yes, the synopsis clearly says that they are simply finding Moon, but it could still happen later on. Well, that is the end of this video analysis, but as usual, give this video a like if you still haven't, don't know why. Click that like button, gosh darn it. And also, dagnabbit, if you haven't subscribed to The Next Big Thing, then shame on you. Subscribe right now. This has been The Next Big Thing with yet another analysis video, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace!